Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You are tuned into Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on CNBC, NBC News, and NBC Sports radio station, KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, Audible, Amazon Music, Tiki Live, Rumble, and more than I can remember. And this is a show about hope and happiness. So there's no gossip, no scandal, and no K words, no Kanye talk at all, because I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. Now, why 88? Why not 100%? If you're 100% happy, you're dead. We need the contrast. So I don't want dead people walking or talking. That's why I say 88%. And if you didn't notice, I know you thought I was Swedish, but I say 88% because 8 is a lucky number in Chinese. It's a homophone for good fortune. So a little Mandarin lesson to start off. Oh, thank you for the heart. Ba is 8 in Chinese, and Fa is good fortune. Good morning, Susan Williams. Thanks for checking in. And today we are celebrating Happy International Women's Day. Let's get some applause right now. We're celebrating women because we've come a long way, babe. What's that, Virginia Slims commercial? I'm dating myself. I am ageless. But we definitely want to celebrate and acknowledge how far we've come. I can't even believe there was a time where we couldn't vote. There was a time where we were told not to speak, or we were told that our only job was to meet our husbands at the front door with a martini. And that all was the history of ourselves. And so a special, a special acknowledgement to all of those women who were pioneers in helping us come to where we are. I remember very distinctly, and by the way, as I'm rattling off here and waiting for the troops to come in, I am collecting compliments today, especially compliments for women. So if you have a compliment for someone, and or you have the best compliment you've ever gotten, I want you to either put it in the chat or come on with me today, because I'm celebrating being live now, since I have Sam and Polly in studio right now, able to take callers. 888-909-1050. And I'll have you on and talking with you about compliments. And we're going to be talking about why it's so hard, especially for women, to take compliments today. So I'm excited to have an interactive show. We'll be doing this Tuesdays and Thursdays. If you have a question, or if anything I'm saying resonates with you, then make sure you call in. That's 888-909-1050. All right, so let's see if we've collected any compliments here. Let's see, Toolman tried calling in, but no answer. So let's see. Today's the day for women, so not here to speak to any compliments I received, but as my wife, Ming Feng, had to travel out of town last week, I was here with Sean for a couple of days. Toolman is actually Timothy Taylor out of Texas. I certainly realized the hard work being a mom and taking care of him. Granted, I was also working online and juggling that, but it takes a lot of energy. Yeah, I figured out who you were, Tim. So Tim's compliment is to his wife for being such a great mom. And their son, Sean, this is the power of social networking, and I'm grateful. People complain a lot about social media, but I have an adopted I'm the honorary Facebook godmother to Shan, whose name actually means mountain, Shan. And so thank you for that compliment for your wife. And if you have anything like that, put it in the chat and or call in 888-909-1050. So Tim, try calling that number again. I want to make sure that Sam is getting that in studio as I am trying to get people to call. All right, so where were we? 80. Okay, so we're talking about compliments and specifically why it's so hard to take a compliment. So I can't see you, but how many of you, and you might want to put a heart up or a thumbs up, how many of you have difficulty taking in a compliment? Anybody? Does this resonate at all? You get 99 compliments and you get one insult. And where does your head go? If you're anything like me, I'm a recovering perfectionist. I won't focus on the tons of times people have said, you're so nice, or you're so smart, or you're so personable, or you're so enthusiastic, or you're so talented. If I get one single insult, or when someone compliments me, I kind of look at them and say, what are you going to ask for? Or what do you want? Or what are you going to say to take back that compliment? You know, that whole way of assessing people in HR. You know, you're good at this, this, and this, but bang, bang, bang. And then all you are thinking about is only the insult. Are you like that at all? If you are like that, please put something in the comments and or call in to 888-909-1050. We're going to talk about that when we return from break to Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind. And we're on break. I still see eyeballs. Would love your comments. Timothy, did you try calling that number again? Sam, we good?
Yeah, good.
How did that go? Sure.
You have a caller.
Yay! What's this? Is it Timothy from Texas?
Yeah.
Yay!
Hey, in your chat, can you tell Timothy to call me back real quick?
Yeah.
I accidentally hang up on him.
Okay.
Thank you.
And I see more eyeballs. Welcome to the show. We are on news break right now. We're going to start up again in a minute. So hang in there. And we do have a caller. So we're going to continue celebrating International Women's Day and talking about compliments and why it's so hard to take a compliment. So hang in, stay tuned, and we're going to come back in. I'm going to come back in with
Okay. Sam from Texas hasn't called me back yet.
that's fine.
Okay.
Give me the timing. We got a minute?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. This is so fun. I'm live now in studio, so we have to take breaks for the news, weather, and sports. And then we're on in 4 segments. And I'm taking compliments today, not for myself, but for anyone you want to pay a compliment to, as well as what's the best compliment that you have received. And we're starting up with live streaming so that I can interact. So Tuesdays and Thursdays is the call-in time. If you have a question that you want some free advice, free happiness coaching from, then call the number that's on the bottom, 888-909-1050. Are we back on?
10 seconds my time, 20 seconds your time.
Oh, okay, perfect. Oh no, we're on then.
Hi, my name's Dr. Marissa. You know me as the Asian Oprah and the celebrity host producer of your morning drive time show, 8 a.m., called Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show. And I'm on a happy 88 mission. That's 88 million more happy people in the next 8 years. And therefore, I'm delighted to tell you we're going to start something new that balances out all the bad news and gives you something to smile about. Yes, I'm starting a compliment line. So if there's a compliment that you want to pay someone, maybe your boss, maybe that cute person that you've got your eye on, then you can do so by calling 888-909-1050 and tell my screener that I have a compliment for Dr. Marissa. So I'll put you on so you can give that compliment and feel good about giving it, and the person receiving will feel good as well. There's more than one way to be happy with Dr. Marissa. Keep it tuned here to Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show at 8 a.m. weekday mornings here on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind.
And we're back. You're tuned into Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News Radio, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere, including my YouTube channel. And I know there's some people right now checking in live in my from my YouTube channel, Timothy Taylor from Texas, and I know there's a number from my Facebook as well. If you would like a shout out or to give the compliment and you're too shy to call, then just put it in the chat line. I've already had one compliment for Timothy's wife, who is a great mom, and I want some more compliments, not for me necessarily, but I want to hear who you're complimenting or the best compliment that you've ever gotten. And if you free subscribe to my YouTube channel, you'll get not only my past 650 some shows, you'll also get my red carpet playlist, where I got to interview Halle Berry, John Travolta, Quincy Jones, and a whole lot more interesting people. So you can enjoy that on a free subscribe to my YouTube channel. And we're talking about compliments to celebrate International Women's Day. And I wanted to acknowledge those women. I think we are where we are, and I'm specifically thinking of a story from. I was speaking, I want to say maybe 15 years ago. I was on a panel. It was a Women's Day celebration as well. So it was pretty much right now, 15 years ago. And there was myself, and I'm an organizational psychologist, for those of you who don't know, by education. And there was a medical doctor who was sitting, a young woman, medical doctor. And then there was an older, more mature, very successful lawyer, and also a very successful partner in a consulting firm. And the four of us were on this panel, and there was a question from the audience that said, what is the key to your success to be able to rise up in a man's world, to break that glass ceiling? And I believe it was the lawyer who said, I had to dress like a guy, lower my voice, be more assertive. I had to think like a man, act like a man. And I remember the medical doctor, the younger medical doctor that was sitting beside me, and she sort of kicked me under the table and rolled her eyes. And my first thought was, wow, you don't have to do that anymore. And then it struck me that we don't have to do that anymore because they did the work. And how fortunate are women today who were assisted in paving that way. And it's grateful I don't have to act like a man, but I'll tell you, even when I was in my, when I was on the East Coast and I did, sorry, Sam, did you say something? Oh, I have two callers. Wonderful. So I'll finish the story later. We want to get the callers on. So go ahead. Who do I have on the line? I don't hear them. I guess he's patching them in. We're doing, this is our first try at this, so we're learning. Okay, I can't hear anything. Can you hear? Oh dear. I know what's happening. He's on the YouTube stream, right? And I'm on the StreamYard stream. You know what we can do is I'm going to send you the link. How can I do this? Are they on the Facebook? Oh, I'm going to put a link in the chat, and that way they can come into the studio. And they don't have to be on camera, but at least I can hear them. Okay? So if you are on the phone right now, we apologize. Can you go to the chat wherever you're watching the show, and you should see a link to click, and then you'll come on. Perfect. So I'll finish my story. So I remember when I was on the East Coast, I was doing my internship, and one of my supervisors, a partner at a firm, said to me, you are so communicative, you're so strong, you're so ambitious. Sometimes I forget that you're not a man. And I was like, looking down and looking at him, and, thank you. I think that's a compliment. I think that you're trying to compliment me. And so I say that not to bash him or bash men, but it absolutely, we have come a long way in that it's we've gotten to the point where, okay, we're I wouldn't say we're equal. We're still, working on equal work, equal pay, but now we're almost at sea level. And I think the next step for women is to value those ways in which we are different than men and know that what we bring to the table is different and equally as important to the organization or to the family or whatever it is. We don't have to be like a man. We don't have to talk like a man. We don't have to be like a man. So I absolutely know that when we begin to value ourselves as women, when we begin to see ourselves as valuable, no matter, what the quality is, each one of us, and especially women, have a unique talent, gift, and ability that we don't have to be like anyone. So that's my opinion that I'm sticking to. And I hope that you, if you're a woman who has problems taking compliments, then this is definitely an area that we can work on better. We can work on more so that we are able to see our contributions, right? So the tool here, the Happy 88 tool, is to have a guy day. So what is to have a guy day? And thank you so much. I feel horrible. People are calling in and we're trying to figure this out now on how to get it through here. I'm on StreamYard broadcasting to KCAA. And so we're having trouble getting the interface, but that's okay. We're learning this and we'll get it down. So for right now, if you can get on Facebook and use the chat line. Actually, there's a chat line as well on YouTube, and just type in your question. That would be very helpful, and we can help that way. Yay! And just because we are persistent, guess what? I found a way to get a caller on. Timothy Taylor, welcome to the show.
Hi, I don't have my my camera turned on. I didn't
That's
get
totally
ready
fine.
for a morning video chat. So
No worries. I'm just glad we got. Thank you for being persistent.
yeah, definitely.
All right, thank you. Thanks, Sam. So, you know what? I'm gonna have you. We're gonna go to break and make sure that this is all copacetic. And I'm gonna talk to my engineer and figure out how we can get other callers on. But you are tuned into Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show. Don't go away. We'll be right back on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind. Okay. Sam, what are we gonna do? He used the link that I put in the chat. So I can actually, pardon?
The link for Facebook or for YouTube?
The link for StreamYard.
StreamYard.
Yeah, so that's the studio that I'm in. So how can we, see, that's why I put in KCAA as, so you could get into my studio, but you don't, it says it's not supported in the camera and mic. You know that link that I gave you? Can you, you can't see the link, right? Here, let me send you a link. We're going to try this real quick. Thanks for hanging on, Timothy.
You bet.
All right. Compose. I'm going to send it to KCAA. Traffic link. And hopefully we have enough time to try this. You can do it while I'm talking. It's real time fix. Okay, I just sent it. Perfect. And if hopefully, see when when Polly tried it, it said that it was not supporting the camera or audio, but I'm hoping that he didn't know how to go to the bottom and change the settings. He said that you were the techie. So if you can get in the studio, then I'm thinking we can pipe in. What's the timing?
We got 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Okay, perfect. And if you've just tuned in, we are listening to the news on the other side and just getting ready to continue on. We do have a caller who is on camera, and yay, Sam is here. They will need to connect their mic and cam before you can add them to the screen. So I don't need to add you to the screen. Sam, I gave you administrator rights. Can you see the board?
Can I see the board? No.
You can't see the board. So can you change your settings? Because it says device not connected. How are we doing on time?
We got about 2.5 minutes.
Oh, okay, plenty of time. Thank you for staying tuned. I see your eyeballs. I'm glad you've joined. We're going to start up in another minute and a half. As you know, I'm on an NBC News radio channel, so we get to break every quarter hour for news and more. By the way, if you'd like to advertise on my show and be a Happy 88 Mission supporter, or if you'd like to be a guest and promote your book or your product or service, then contact me at drmarissa.life. And we can chat there.
So I'm not the host, I'm just a guest on this.
Oh, okay. So there's no administrator.
No.
So you can't see anything. See, it says they will need to connect their mic or cam before you can add them to the stream. So,
the camera doesn't have a mic.
okay.
You don't see me on the screen, right? You just see it control the board.
Yeah, but you can't control the board in here if you can't. Can you control the board? Can you see the board?
No.
Oh.
No.
I'm wondering if I changed, I'll have to go back out and see what, if you use your email and try this again from your email, you might be able to do it.
A personal email?
Yeah, because we tried to do that. Here, let me send it to you. Sam works.
You have 30 seconds.
Okay. All right, I'm sending this. We're multi-studioing here. All right, 30 seconds, and we're gonna come back in. Give me the 20-second mark.
20 seconds.
All right, and your 10-second mark.
10 seconds.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And we're back. You're tuned into Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News Radio, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, Amazon Music, Audible, Spreaker, TV Live, Rumble, and more. Why? I want the maximum splatter zone because I want you to be happy 88% of the time. I'm on a mission, 88 million more happy people in the next 8 years. And so I picked topics like compliments to help you balance out all the bad news that you're listening to as soon as you wake up and start doing the scroll and the touch. So we're talking about compliments to celebrate International Women's Day today. If you have a compliment that you would like to give, or the best compliment that you've ever received, you have a choice. You can put it in the chat if you're streaming on Facebook or YouTube, or you can call in. Oh no, we can, you can go to the chat, and I put a link there, like Tim just did, and came into the studio so that you can actually be part of the show. All right. So Timothy Taylor, how are you?
Doing well. How are you doing today?
I am happy and grateful. And where are you calling from?
Calling in from actually Grand Prairie, which is just a suburb of Dallas here in Texas.
Wonderful. And what's the best compliment that you've ever gotten?
I tend to probably not be a good recipient of compliments as well. I tend to downplay those, as a lot of times it's a team effort on accomplishments. So it's not just always one person, but yeah, it's always nice to get feedback from those in your workplace. Maybe not as much around you, but certainly they come more frequent at work if you're doing well.
Wonderful. Now, what's the best compliment you've ever gotten at work?
Probably just a statement saying that even on my worst day, that they would still prefer having me on their team, even when I make a mistake, that it's so small that the greater job that I do is worth having and surpasses any mistake I make. So
wonderful.
That was a nice compliment. That
is a very nice compliment. And I'm going to get back to you after I say hello to Susan Williams. Welcome to the show. So what's your best compliment that you've ever had? Susan?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I'm listening at the same time. Sorry.
What's the best compliment that you've ever gotten?
Hey. Oh, sorry. The best that I've ever gotten?
Yes.
Oh, well, normally at work when I help others, when I'm mentoring and teaching what we know, I'm actually a recruiter. So, and I feel like a historian. I've been doing this for quite a while. So I've gotten compliments from those that I mentor. Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. So here's the deal. What messages, when you were growing up, did you get about receiving compliments? So I'll start off. So I was told that don't think too highly of yourself. So when you think too highly of yourself, you are, you're too big for your britches, or, in Chinese, there's actually a saying, the nail that stands up is hammered down. So don't toot your own horn. Don't draw attention to yourself. Don't when people compliment you, you say, no, no, no. That's cultural and family training that I had. Did you guys have any of that? Tim?
Well, my mother, she taught me.
Pardon?
Sorry.
Go ahead, Susan.
Oh, my turn. I'm listening to two conversations. My mother is Japanese. She's passed on, but she taught me about the culture and how to be in public and how to treat others. And I learned so much from her. She is my first and foremost woman that I want to compliment for teaching me to be who I am today.
Beautiful. And what's her name?
Asako Green.
Beautiful.
Well, her maiden name was Kaizuka, Asako Kaizuka.
Beautiful.
And but my father's last name was Green, so of course she married him. So
Right. Cool. And Tim?
I guess I think growing up, I think we were just taught to be gracious with compliments. Appreciate them, but certainly don't bask in them too much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had a feeling because I've been pressing you. It took me a little bit to get that compliment out of you. And when you were first chatting, you didn't want to compliment yourself. You wanted to compliment your wife, which is wonderful. But I believe, and this is my opinion, and it's also advice that I don't always use. It's my opinion that happiness is tied to self-approval. Now, I'm not talking about, I'm walking around like I'm all that. But one of the things that a lot of us, especially if you've had negative messages growing up that say you're not all that, is we don't have a very strong muscle to say, you know what? I'm okay. I'm more than okay. I'm pretty good. In fact, like 88% of the time, I have some real great things. So when people compliment, I can say thank you and leave it at that. And it's one of those life happy 88 tools that I think if we were able to self-soothe and self-approve more, then we would be less apt to have our antenna up looking for compliments or looking for people to approve of us or looking for that next accolade. Is that when we have the ability to give ourselves that compliment, it really makes a huge difference in how we walk through life. So that's why I have this tool called Have a Guy Day. And Susan, I know that one of my clients who I think was your boss at one time gave out my 52 card pickup motivational cards. And one of them says, have a guy day. And I use these in my talks too. Have a Guy Day says, most women are very hard on themselves. Now, it sounds like, Tim, you also could fall in that category, not putting you there, but it's possible because of the experience of you with compliments. So women, if you say, I like your hair, I hear, oh, I didn't even wash it today, or I like your dress or your earrings. Oh, I got it at a thrift store. So the compliment is watered down. I'm sorry, what was that?
1 minute.
Oh, thank you. We have to go to break in 1 minute. So the compliment is lost because women are so hard on themselves. And when we come back, I'm going to give you some data that actually shows why women are harder on themselves than men. Not always, but it is a statistical group difference. That's when we return, so keep it here. Don't go away on Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind. This is way more difficult than yesterday was.
Oh,
This going live
technicalities,
business.
huh?
Oh, you what? Yeah, because I'm in a different kind of studio than they are in. And so when you call, I can't hear you. You can hear me, but I can't hear you. So that's the first thing I have to do is change this ticker and not have the call in. And I don't know how we're going to fix that because I really want I love the calling, thing. But thank goodness you guys got the link. It is kind of cool having you in here, though. So maybe instead of saying call in,
Oh, you know what I just realized though?
what?
I had you on Facebook, and then I had you on YouTube Live, and now I'm on StreamYard. So no wonder I was hearing two different conversations.
Yeah.
I just realized it. I had turned it off. I actually wanted to give a few more compliments to a couple more women. I just didn't get there yet because I was a little confused. Now I understand the platform.
Yeah, for
If I
sure.
get a
Yeah,
chance,
close
I get
out
an
on the others.
opportunity.
Otherwise,
And
you're going to
includes
hear
you.
it.
It includes you, actually.
Oh, well, we'll start with that. we have
Okay.
We have 9 more minutes when we come back. I think I'm going to stop doing the third break, Sam.
Yeah,
It's like I get started and then I have to break.
typically it's just a half-hour break.
Yeah. I can do the first 15 and then the half, and then just not have the other one.
Are you ready to go back?
I am.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And we're back. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News Radio, CNBC News Radio, and NBC Sports, KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. And today's International Women's Day. And so I'm collecting compliments that you may have about women. And I have 2 wonderful callers who called in to give compliments to people. And Tim gave a compliment to his beautiful wife. Actually, you didn't actually do it live. So we're going to come back to you. But Susan, you have some compliments for people.
I do. Okay. So I did give a compliment first and foremost to my mother, who was Japanese. So many years ago, she gave me tickets to a concert. She said, "Would you want to join me? It's at the Japanese Cultural Center." And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And it was Keiko Matsui, who my first live performance of her was fantastic, wonderful. So years later, I met you, Dr. Marissa. And then I'm listening to your podcast. You are just the most full of energy, influential person I've ever met. Always a bright ray of sunshine. And I listened and I said, "Oh, you could win tickets to the Asian Oprah giveaway." And I won tickets. Oh my God. And so it's fresh and foremost in my mind that recently I won tickets to a Keiko Matsui concert. And I got to see her live at the Performing Arts Center in Cerritos, and you were there, and you actually introduced, and it was just such a wonderful experience. And I want to thank you, and I want to thank her, because you both spread sunshine and positivity to women and men, everyone, all over the place in 2 different ways. And I appreciate you for that, and I appreciate people like you in my life. Thank you for touching my life. And my friends that I brought with me felt the same way when we left there. Can you believe it? Everyone was just so excited. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I had to say that. I hope I said it
you
quick
did
enough.
it wonderfully. Thank you. I am going to accept and receive that full compliment. Thank you so much. It was wonderful seeing you enjoy my sister, my twin sister, so much at the concert. It was absolutely amazing. Amazing. Thank you so much. All right. And Timothy Taylor, do you have a compliment for your wife that I want you to do in your voice?
Okay. Yeah. Like I was saying, my wife traveled out of town for a day in Colorado Springs and got stuck there because we travel standby. And so I was home juggling online work as well as uh, taking care of my son, Sean, who is 3, turning 4 in August. And really realized how much energy it takes to accomplish his day and just make sure he's taken care of, and of course take care of the house as well. So it's a lot of energy, and I certainly realized when she was back how grateful I was to have her here and looking after him.
That's beautiful. I'm so glad that you got that experience. I think some people don't really uh, get the childcare until they're in that. So good for you, and thank you for that compliment for your wife. And for those of you who weren't here at the beginning of the show, his son is actually my honorary social media godson. Because Tim and I have been connected thanks to social media for how many years? When you were just married, I
Yeah,
think.
a few years. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and I can't remember which interview it was, but I saw you first on a interview that was related to a film, and I don't know if it was a behind the scenes thing, but they interviewed you for subject on a film, and that's how I connected with you.
Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. I'm so grateful. Thank you both for your compliments. Thank you for taking the time and the persistence to get on here with me. I'm going to give you applause for the effort. Here we go. I just love my life. I'm so grateful. And I think I have to finish that Have a Guy Day before we sign out. Oh, but I do want to give an Asian Oprah giveaway since you were mentioning it. So today's Asian Oprah giveaway, I'm giving away, let's give away 3 audiobooks of this #1 bestseller. All the things that you hear me talk about and how to feel happier, Happy 88 tools, they're all in this book. I'm grateful it hit #1 on Amazon in a major category and #4 on Denver Post. So go to drmarissa.life and put International Women's Day in the subject line, and I'll give you the link to get a free audiobook of that. So, why are women more hard on themselves than men? It is, I think experientially, we both have the predisposition genetically as well as the upbringing of being that way. And men, on the other hand, so women think they are not as smart, not as good looking or pretty, not as thin as we are. And and men, on the other hand, not all men, but they think they're better looking, more buff, and have more hair than they actually do. Now, not all men and not all women, but I'll give you the proof right now. Have you ever been at a gym with the mirrors and you see a woman walk past her reflection in the mirror, and more often than not, they'll look down? Or if they look at themselves, they see a distorted, larger version of themselves. Men, on the other hand, not all men, but many men will go past the mirror, stop, and start flexing. I mean, y'all have seen this. So it really is important for women. Your Happy 88 tip and challenge for today is to absolutely have a guy day. Look at yourself in the mirror and like what you see. And definitely, I am, this is one of those things that I struggle with. I have really, you've heard my interviews with Janine Roth, Dr. Pat Allen. You've heard me with many diet coaches. I will work on this for the rest of my life. I've accepted that now. I don't like looking in the mirror. And when people say, "Oh, you look great," I'm like, "Yeah, that's because my clothes are on," you know. And it's even worse because I used to model, so I have those pictures, and so it's something that I work on. But I'm going to work on it. So if you're a person who doesn't like the way that they look, I'm going to challenge you. We're going to start today, and we're going to look ourselves in the mirror, in the eye, and like what we see. That's the challenge, because when we like what we see, then we begin to also like what we see in others. That critical part of us is not something that is helping us. If you're a perfectionist and you're only looking at what's wrong, it's going to kill you. So, do I have your commitment to start looking at yourself kindly starting today? Susan?
Yes.
Timothy?
I will look at myself kindly, or I will try.
Tim?
Will do my best.
Right, because it's so important. Thank you so much for coming on and giving me your compliment. Anything else you'd like to say before I kick you out of the studio?
I would just like to second Susan.
I just want to say I just got the book.
Oh, you did?
Oh, I got your book. I got your book too,
Oh,
Dr. Marissa.
good.
So I haven't started reading it, but I'm looking forward to it.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Tim?
I was just going to say, I'd like to second Susan's compliment to you and all that you bring to many people, and certainly kind of like a moth to the flame sort of people are attracted to the brightness and the radiance and the warmth of the host. So kudos to you.
Oh, and thank you for recognizing that. And that is it for today's show. I am so grateful that you all joined in on this experiment on how to interact with me, streaming live, as well as coming into the studio. Tomorrow, we have a special guest. His name is Shane McCabe. He's from Ireland originally. He's a filmmaker. So you'll want to tune in tomorrow as I continue this journey. I can't believe 515 consecutive weeks that I have been on. This is show number 600, and I always get the numbers mixed up. 600, I can tell you right now, 54. So it looks like I'm continuing this show, and I'm so grateful. If you would like a free tip sheet with happy tools, go to www.drmarissa.life, and you will belong to my Happy 88 tribe. Thank you so much. Go forth and multiply the compliment that you are. Remember, have the best day ever, because it's all about balance. Peace in, peace out. World peace through inner peace.